This is Jakk and
MT.
And we are Frankly Speaking.
Welcome back. We here filming another episode of Frankly Speaking. And I'm Jakk. This is
MT.
How you doing today, man?
I am great.
That's good. That's a very generic response.
We
get a different response every week.
Got a new girl in my life, so I'm contemplating settling down a little bit. So I'm.
You got the engagement ring?
Nah, I just said I'm contemplating. I ain't making no big deal.
He says you flirting with the idea. Okay.
Flirting with the idea. That's
okay.
all.
That's what's up. Love should be celebrated. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. So how your picks come from last week?
I think I took a big dump this time.
I don't know what I did.
I know I was cussing at my screen again. I was like, "You!" Oh, here we go.
I gotta stop getting high before I make my picks.
We get straight into it?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, because I think I took a dump this week.
Voice from above is back. Welcome. Thank you for having me back, guys. How you guys feeling this morning?
Good. How you feeling?
Feeling very well.
Living and breathing, Like you said, I was surprised just to get a great out of MT this morning,
Right.
Last week, week 5, we had MT at 7-7 and Jakk at 9-5.
All right.
Wow.
Which
Kind of even that out a little bit.
kinda ain't even the word, man. That put both of y'all at 42 and 36.
That's I kind of figured it would only take a week.
Yeah.
I needed a good week,
Wow.
So yeah,
and I talked you out of a win too.
Yes, you did.
which one was that?
That Bears-Panthers game.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't be so easily influenced, man.
Yeah.
So since we got that out the way, let's get the week 6 picks.
I just said I should stop getting high before I make these picks.
Hey, let me catch you while you you want to spin back around to it, or you want to?
No, we can get it in.
49ers at Seattle Seahawks.
Jeez.
That's a toughie because all these injuries.
Yeah, the 49ers have been a disappointment this year.
Total. But I'm going with them anyway, 49ers.
I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm gonna come back to that one. I actually want to thoroughly think about that one because that's a divisional game too.
Yep.
Them divisional games are always
Keep
hard
going
fought.
anyway.
Yeah.
And it's in Seattle.
You know what? That might sway me a little bit. I might ride with Seattle because that be my determinant factor. Even though it ain't that far of a drive or flight because they're
Still
professional
12th man.
football
Got a
team.
12th man.
I say still 12th man.
And I'm still going 49ers anyway, though. I'm just.
You want to come back to it, or you riding with that?
Nah, I'm gonna go with the
Go
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Lions at the Cowboys.
I'm going Lions, bro. Cowboys looked about as inept as the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Lions too, but I do want to point out the Lions haven't beat the Cowboys since 2015. So, I mean, that was one of those situations. Yeah. Let me. I got the graphic here.
Does he? You mean at the Cowboy Stadium? You don't mean they haven't beaten the Cowboys because they beat them the other year at Thanksgiving, if I ain't mistaken.
So they are 6-0 versus Detroit in the last 6 games. That is December 30th of 2023. The Cowboys won 20-19.
That's what that fluke win.
The Cowboys won October 23rd of 2022 by a score of 24-6. They won November 17th of 2019 by a score of 35-27. September 30th of 2018, they won 26-24. December 26, 2016, 42-21. And January 4th, 2015, they won 24-20.
So they've been one of them was a lapper. The rest have been kind of like one-score games. I'm rolling with my dudes.
I'm gonna ride with them too. I picked them to beat. No, actually, I picked against them. I picked Seattle to beat Detroit, but Seattle was another team that you hadn't beaten quite in some time. So, yeah, true. You learn from your lesson, and I don't really believe in the Cowboys this year.
Cowboys don't have a run defense at all.
What CD told him? Subpar.
They got injuries too, because Micah Parsons is hurt too.
Yeah.
How long is he gonna be out?
I have no clue. They weaken it. They week to weaken it, but it might be one of those Lamar Jackson situations where it's like, till y'all give me my contract, I'm hurt. I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck. It might be one of those situations where it's like, until I get my contract, you found money to pay Dak, you found money to pay CD. Hey, what's up? You know what I mean?
He is the edge rusher on that team.
He is the catalyst on that defense. He's the X factor. He's what makes the defense go. Like, everything kind of flows through his motor.
His motor.
So to speak. So, because the crazy thing is, without him, the Cowboys are a completely different defense. They went from being one of the top defenses the last couple of years to just it's almost like you could pick them apart because the defensive backs, seriously, the defensive backs aren't playing as well. The Deron Bland, just a year or two ago, he was like the top corner in the league. Like, he got paid off of that. So, when that defensive line can't get home, man, it's tough pickings.
It's a different animal.
It's tough pickings. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. They just can't stop anybody. And literally, did you watch that the Cowboys Pittsburgh game?
I did.
Did you watch the whole game?
I watched.
It didn't end till like midnight, 1 a.m.
I was like, are you kidding me? I didn't even see the ending because I was like, okay, we got this one.
Oh, no. See, I sat there and watched because it was kind of like a snooze fest. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not going to
lie. Justin Fields looked like what I had been watching for the last 3 years. He looked good first couple games. I'm like, yeah, just wait. Just wait. And right on cue, hold my beer. So he had one of those games where
he couldn't get out of his own way. And I was looking like this. I said, you know what? He got this.
He had one of those games where nothing went right. Like, he had several plays that, went his way. But for the most part, when it was clutch time, nothing would go his way. And you look back at some of those plays, George Pickens is lazy, man. George Pickens is a lazy MF. Like, I don't understand the lackadaisical play out there on the field. Just like, if he know he's not getting the ball, he ain't running. Like, you don't see stuff like that with that caliber of player at that level. You know what I mean? Like,
they would accuse the same thing with Randy Moss. If he knew it was a running play, he just gallop out there and just...
Yeah, but at least he would gallop.
Yeah.
Like, I literally saw George Pickens just walk. The ball gets snapped and he just... he's walking like it's not a live play. Like, he's just walking back to the huddle or walking to the sideline. Like, he didn't attempt to block nobody. I don't know. It's just atrocious. It's not a good look on his behalf. And since we're on the Pittsburgh Steelers, I have two questions. A, what would you do at quarterback? Would you stick with Fields or would you switch to Russell?
I'm going back to Russ because they say he's taking full-scale practices he's doing with the second team, but but they don't want to disrupt Justin too much in case he can't go. But he's been taking snaps all in full pads and full speed. So I'm going with Russ.
Okay,
You can almost guarantee him Russ this week too.
What would you do if you were the coach? You sticking with Justin or you giving Russ the ball this week?
Broncos record last year. Let me look that up. I see them both as elite game managers at this point, personally. So
elite is a stretch.
Elite game managers.
Even as a game manager, elite is a stretch.
Good game managers.
They literally just tried to ask Justin Fields to manage the game Sunday, and we saw how that went.
Yeah.
So elite is a stretch.
Maybe not good game managers. I'll say that.
Russell,
Adequate game managers.
Adequate game managers.
Well,
doable guys that can do their job somewhat.
I was going to say,
I don't know what other
yeah, because I would go.
Because he didn't look terrible.
I would put Russ above where I would put Justin.
I would too, just personally. But Russell last year, watching him, he didn't stand out too much.
Exactly.
Like,
So it's
like
not
he
by
stands
much.
out, like too much. above
It's
Justin
not by
Fields.
much, but I would still put. But me personally, because as a Bears fan, that if he doesn't play more than 60% of snaps, we only get a 6th round pick. But if he plays more than 60% of snaps, we get a 4th round pick. Keep on playing, Justin. Keep on keeping on, buddy. I'm rooting for you.
Well, I thought last year with the Denver Broncos that Russell was just going through the motions. He had an OC and a head coach who didn't see eye to eye with him, and he was just whatever. I saw no enthusiasm. I saw no effort, and I was like,
Same thing I was just talking about with George Pickens.
I said, is he even trying? I saw him get sacked last year in places. I'm like, Russell, you can still run a little bit.
Yeah, he has no interest in running.
And
That's the
what I was
one
gonna
thing
touch on
I
a little
would
bit. Maybe they
give
see
Justin Fields.
as a younger version as Russell. You know, like he can run and get out the pocket a little bit more than Russell can. I'll give that to him. But other than that,
Just from the athletic standpoint, because the difference between what Justin and Russell was able to do, when Justin takes off, he's not looking to throw the ball. He's not looking, his eyes immediately pull down and he becomes a free runner at that point. He's not looking downfield, trying to let something develop, trying to find a soft zone in the defense. Like, he's not looking for somewhere to go with the football to throw it, and he can't throw over the middle. Like, I have a graphic and a breakdown that, again, Mike, you kind of going to get overloaded with graphics, but it's okay. I got another one. Like, all of his completions, like when he has those high completion percentage games, they're all outside the lines. They're all sidelines, from the numbers outside. Mm-hmm. He cannot throw over the middle. I don't know what it is about. It's year 4. And again, for those, we should have kept Fields and drafted Marvin Harrison Jr. and for all of those people in Chicago Bear Nation, right? With Justin Fields, his growth this year as a passer, he's in year 4. We had 3 years of him not showing growth. Like, it's how fast people forget. Like, it was just last year where we had like 90-something%. Like, we would be up 20 plus points going into the 4th quarter. And it's just like, don't lose the game. And lo and behold, we ended up losing that game. One of those games was the Denver game. One of the game I know you guys remember was the Lions game. And the last game was that Minnesota game. So, yeah, I don't.
Do you think, now just to throw this out there.
What's up?
Your defense came together pretty late last year.
After the Montez Sweat trade, yes.
Mm-hmm. So, do you think, okay, we do keep Justin Fields and our defense is doing what they're doing now, we look similar or we look worse?
We look like we looked last year, even with the new weapons.
Even with DJ Moore,
we already had DJ Moore.
So even with Marvin Harrison, Swift, like that whole.
I think we look the same, but because the catalyst isn't changing of that team. If we had kept Fields, he's still not like. Even if we had kept Fields and changed offensive coordinators, he's still not seeing over the middle of the field. So that removes part of whatever playbook you want to run, whatever plays over the middle, all of those are essentially taken off of the board. I watched them different. I watched them from a mechanical standpoint. Caleb Williams is a rookie. Have you watched the Bears play? So you see him making commands at the line of scrimmage. Like, I don't see Fields doing that now. And I like Fields' personality and all of that, but as a leader and taking command, being able to I never once saw him change a protection at the line. Now, I don't know if that's because they didn't trust him or if it's simply that it's not something that was designed, or I have no clue how that would be ineptitude at that point. because you're a professional football team. So I don't get it. But what I'm literally seeing Caleb do, it's 5 games into his rookie year. It's 5 games into his rookie year. And like when you talk about linear projections, like not even a projection, that's a bad word. When you talk about linear growth, like from every statistical category you want to look at, he's taking better care of the football, less turnovers, total, not just interceptions, fumbles. The QBR has raised every week. The completion percentage has raised every week. Now, I'm not saying they're not going to be games where he looks like a rookie. There's not going to be like a setback game or, you know what I mean? But the beautiful thing about being in the cupcake part of the schedule and him getting to develop the way that we do is by the time we get to that gauntlet where we have all 6 divisional games and then our 2 out of division games where we have the 49ers and then the Seattle Seahawks, the offense should have grown by then to where we are already kind of seeing the identity being established and can work within the confines of our offense. You know what I mean? So you didn't see growth like this when we had Fields. It was always like this time last year, it was a dumpster fire. I had already started doing mock draft projections. Yeah. Last year around this time is when I was already like, yep, tanking for Caleb. Changed my fantasy name to that and everything. So it's like to actually still be in the mix. And granted, it's just, you know, we just got past the first quarter of the season. So, you know, nothing is set in stone. It's still a lot of moving that can happen, go on from now until the end of the season. But I like where we are. I do. I really like where we are. I think we made the right decision. Like, and it's no hate on Jaden. Like, because I don't know why we can't let them both just be great and grow. I also see, like, they're doing some brilliant things over in Washington with him, but they're also not asking him to do what they're asking Caleb to do from a processing standpoint, from the in the pocket standpoint. Mm-hmm. Like, they're both playing great. Now, by the time they get to see more advanced defenses, we'll see how they start to function. But as of now, like, you could even throw Bo Nix in there. Like, he's looking like he's pretty good. Sean Payton doesn't look like a great coach. I don't like. I heard something on the sideline that was kind of interesting, like, because Bo Nix is also checking into his own plays, right? Mm-hmm. And they were on the sideline kind of arguing, and Sean Payton is like, call the play. And it's like, your play sucked. My play got us a touchdown. And, like, from a play calling standpoint, like, you're not actually out there. You can't see what I see. Like, you could call a play, but you can't see what I see to make me, you know what I'm saying, make that change. And,
well, I mean, that was part of the problem with Sean Payton and Russell. Sean Payton wants the script, go by the script, and Russell was like, your script sucks.
See, and the script is so stupid, right? Because if you are able to execute that script really well, then you become, and you can see teams that do this, teams that are good first half teams and then terrible second half teams. Because once that script is over, once you get past that first 15 plays and it's like, all right, now it's time to go play situationally, they can't. You know what I mean? And that's why I don't get too overhyped by what happens in the first half. Because you have a whole nother half and a lot could change in them 2 quarters. You know what I mean?
All tape. One tweak here.
Exactly.
One tweak there.
So you don't want to get so overly excited on what happens in the first half that you like you just be like, oh yeah, we won. We got this in the bag. And then you come back and that 28-3 situation that happened, you know. It, like, literally, I had a homeboy that was living in Atlanta during that Super Bowl, New England, Atlanta, right?
So
Bro.
I was living in Atlanta.
Bro.
Bro, as someone who was living in Atlanta during that time, the city
The city was so hurt behind that. They was hyped.
So is it true that y'all already had like parades and everything already lined up? Like people had already started partying.
They was partying by halftime.
I heard the strippers that came out. They thought Magic City was about to get shut down with all the celebrities.
City, bro, I'm talking about everybody was hyped, and then all of a sudden it was like, hold on, y'all, turn the TV back up. Hold on, wait, what's going on? Like, you know, it was really one of them situations. Like seeing that, bro, I was like, oh man.
Wow. Have you ever heard the phrase "they falconed it up"? Yeah.
Wow. So that reminds me of 1988 or 89. No, 87 rather, with the Pistons and the Lakers when I was in LA. And the Lakers were stinking it up pretty badly. And we were in game 7, and I'm thinking, you must well take that little champagne you got and put it back in the freezer because you're not going to uncork that. And then that phantom foul with Dick Bavetta and Bill Laimbeer, and all of a sudden, yeah, we're the greatest. I was like, bro, really? You saw what I just saw. You got outplayed the whole entire series, and this guy is playing on one leg and still almost beat you.
That's crazy. You know what was messed up? I wasn't going to do it, but you kind of mentioned the Detroit team first. That's kind of how y'all was feeling in the NFC Championship game last year.
It was, but I was cautiously optimistic. I wasn't going to pop no cork. And I was like, the Lions going to be the Lions. So I'm waiting to see.
Bro, it was amazing. Everybody was just celebrating like, oh, yeah, Lions going to the Super Bowl. Lions versus Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Everybody remember how the last time we played the Chiefs win, Lions winning the Super Bowl. I'm like, damn, could we get past the third quarter?
Well, you know why I wasn't too optimistic about that? Because I'd seen the Vegas line. I'm like, nah. I smell a rat.
Man.
I smell a rat. Sure enough, I'm like, Las Vegas not going to lose their shirt over some enthusiastic fans in Detroit. So I was like, nah, it's what it is. I mean, that one play, though, you couldn't have drawn it up if you was the author of some mystery magazine. Somebody get the helmet.
This is so crazy.
Come on, the ball off your helmet, and come on. Now, what are the odds of that happening? It's just like David Tyree trapping the ball against your helmet in the Super Bowl. Come on.
Yeah, that was an amazing catch to witness in real time, though. I'm not going to lie. What pick did we leave off on? I just
we were
remember
talking about
doing that.
Micah Parsons and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
You know why he not getting that contract? You know, he may not, like we was talking about yesterday, be big enough in the right places for that contract, for that max contract at least. Anyways.
Was he a half inch short?
Hey, that's an insider. That's an insider. Oh boy, that's hilarious.
We got the Jaguars at the Bears.
Hey, you know who I'm riding with? The Bears.
I'm gonna go Bears too because I don't think Lightning can strike at two places at the same time.
Hey,
I don't think Trevor Lawrence is made.
Stay over there.
Big enough. You know what? Just for that, I'm going with Jacksonville.
Thank you. Thank you. Stay over there.
You gonna let him talk you out of another game when they pick the Jaguars are what? They just won a game last week?
Yeah, they won their first game. But like you said, Lightning can't strike twice. So, yeah, but stay over there. You be doing all that Bears hating.
You'll remember this next week.
Stay over there.
Remember this moment here. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. And
we gonna talk about my babies in a minute. But for right now,
Jacksonville Jaguars it is.
Texans at the Patriots.
Texans.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Texans.
That's a no-brainer.
Commanders at Ravens.
Ooh, I'm going Ravens.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ravens too.
Because they got their defense is not exactly vanilla.
Yeah, this is gonna be an actual test for Jaden Daniels. It's gonna be interesting. Now, if he goes in there and tears that defense up, then hey, my man might be real. I don't know.
Only so much you can say from there.
Because I'm saying, so he did it against the 1-4 Cincinnati Bengals. He did it like all the teams that he's faced so far. And again, this is no Jaden hate, but it pisses me off when people make the argument and that's the question that I wanted to ask you. Are you taking the take that, the Bears just beat the one and whatever Panthers, or?
I just thought the Panthers were a dumpster fire from the giddy up, so.
Yeah, they were, but they're still an NFL football team. But see, the thing is he's like, oh, Jaden Daniels is real deal. But when he's doing it against the worst defenses in the league, he's real deal. But Caleb does it against a bad team. And I want to add this. And then we get back to the picks because I don't want to go on another super long tangent.
So late for that now, but okay.
I said another.
Okay.
With the Bears, the offense is coming along nicely. The defense is playing lights out. The special teams is playing great. And the Carolina Panthers, just a couple weeks ago, once they put because they actually started to look like a real football team once they switched from Bryce Young to Andy Dalton. I was going to call him by his nickname. I don't even call him by his real name no more. The Red Rifle. But so many times, I just talked about how we'll get out to a hot start in the first half because of that script. And I'm talking about the Bears. Mm-hmm. And then the second half happened, and it's like, oh, damn, well, what are we doing? Why aren't we doing what we did in the first half right now? Like, why are we letting them back in the game? Why are we about to lose this game? Why did we lose this game? Like, I've literally seen. So even though it's just the Carolina Panthers, this is what good teams do to bad teams. That's what they look like and what they're supposed to do when they play bad teams. I've seen too many Bears games where we would come out against a team where that's how it's supposed to look, and it'd be like, what are we doing?
You know what I would say too? Y'all didn't have like a Packers game. Like where it was like you're giving it away the whole game, you're giving it away the
and
whole
then
game.
win it at the end.
You know,
it wasn't like the Tennessee
trash.
Titans game week 1. And I guarantee this game, this team, how we're currently playing, and I even got to get an offensive line credit because we made a couple adjustments in that offensive line and they played great. Now, granted, the Carolina Panthers don't really have, a powerful rusher. Like, they've traded basically everybody that they had on that defensive line, but still, it could have went the opposite way. It could have been like how the Indianapolis Colts game was, where everybody was hurting. The one player they had on the line just got off. And it's like, okay, yeah, what are we doing here? So I like to see the growth. That's all I'm saying.
No, I agree with you. He's definitely growing. Watching last week's game, I was like, this division is going to be very
We're the best division in football right now.
Not going to lie,
No
we
question.
really are.
We're the best division in football right
The
now.
only really interesting division in football.
Like, I'm not going to lie. If we go 10-7 and miss the playoffs because we're still 4th in the division because everybody else is just good, I won't be mad. I won't be mad. Like, I'll be hurt just slightly. Like, yeah, I would want to be there, but I won't be mad because we grew as a football team. But anyway, let's get back to the picks. I said we weren't going a super long tangent this time.
I agree with those picks, though. I agree with those takes. I agree with those takes. I agree. Browns at Eagles.
I'm going to go Eagles. The Browns need to bench Deshaun Watson.
I mean, they can't think up any worse.
I'm serious, man. I'm serious. Like, dude, the offense, like, I don't know if it's a mixture of Deshaun Watson being injured on top of all the personal stuff that he has going on, like just playing on it mentally.
He's distracted.
But he don't look like the same quarterback. Like, he don't look like how he looked when he played in Houston. You know what I mean? I don't get what it is. Like, even this offense looked better last year with Joe Flacco playing.
I thought that when he had
It's the same offense.
all that stuff resolved, he would have a fresh start, and they're starting up again this year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, geez, man.
Whatever he doing, he need to stop. Stop it. Stop it, sir. They gonna diddy you. No diddy. They gonna diddy you. Stop it, sir.
When I saw that number, I was like, bro, what are you?
Every
day?
I saw something. He has 24 settled cases since he got to Cleveland. He has only thrown 19 touchdowns since he got to Cleveland. Stop it, sir.
Cardinals at the Packers.
I'm going Packers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Green Bay too.
Can't stand the Packers.
I can't either.
Neither can I, but the Cardinals-
it make my skin itch picking them, but I need to up my record. He a little too close.
It's way closer than it was last year.
Facts.
Buccaneers at Saints.
I'm gonna go Tampa. They playing on the road too.
Yeah, I don't even think they got a home to play in right now.
Yeah,
That's not funny. It's not funny.
but
Go ahead, pick the Saints.
I am gonna pick the Saints. I'm thinking about they
They don't
playing
even
on
got a
that.
quarterback.
Hey man, stop. Let them.
Bro, like,
Is Derek Carr out?
Yes, they starting Spencer Rattler, but
Oh, well.
no,
I'm
man.
still going to New Orleans though for
See,
that
damn
reason.
it.
Because I'm
Thank
looking
you.
at Baker Mayfield on turf also, and
Thank you. Help my record out. Next pick.
all right, Colts at Titans.
again more ineptitude.
That's either going to be a
They seriously need to bench Anthony Richardson this year. Just sit him this year behind Flacco and let him learn.
Isn't he still hurt?
I'm pretty
He
sure.
should be.
He should because he got hurt like what 2-3 times in that game.
Boy.
I'm gonna say Colts. I'm going Colts.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Colts too, cause Will Levis, man, he's becoming a parody. They gonna draft. You know what? That's where Shador Sanders gonna mess around and get drafted too next year. I had a homeboy, and if you watching this, shout out to you. Shout out homeboy. But he predicted he gonna end up in Miami next year. I would actually like to see that with all them weapons they got over there and the brilliance that Mike McDaniels is. So I don't know, but watch him mess around and end up somewhere like Tennessee
Or the Jets.
Or I was just about to say that too. Even though I think
Now that's a dumpster fire right now.
it
I was
is.
going to ask you guys about that afterwards.
It is.
Before y'all really get into that, I was going to ask y'all about that afterwards.
Okay, well we'll circle
Because
back
that's the
around
last
to that.
pick. So that
Okay, we'll circle back around to that one.
Chargers at Broncos.
I'm gonna go Broncos.
Bo Nix. We're going Chargers here. I'm going Chargers. We got to delineate somewhere because we too many parallels here. Got to delineate this thing here. Just the way I've been trying to keep my logical picks and been getting dumped on, I'm going irrational this time. So let's.
Hey, that's been my strategy this entire season, and it hasn't worked in my favor. So,
Look, two different methods, and y'all getting the same result.
I was gonna chalk it up to he's just got better at making his picks. I'm not gonna lie. I give credit where it's due.
Watching more games this season and everything.
No,
Not watching as many basketball games.
No, he's watching highlights. See, that's what's gonna kill it right there. Once basketball get rolling, he gonna start watching basketball and continue watching the football highlights. He just gonna watch Lions games. That's all.
I don't know. I've
You watched any Tigers games?
I did, but the NBA is really getting to be a difficult watch. If you're watching your team specifically, it's getting hard to watch the NBA.
What is your team this year? Not to get too far off topic. We'll come back to that after this commercial break.
My team this year, I really like if they can stay healthy, the Phoenix Suns.
They ain't going nowhere. What's the next pick?
Steelers at Raiders.
Steelers at Raiders. Yeah, Raiders looking.
I'm gonna do this with a caveat. If Russell plays Steelers, if he doesn't, Raiders. Put that little asterisk.
Well, wait
there.
a minute. That's like as much of a pick as a not pick. Like he.
Honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna put that in the books.
Right, like what are we? That's like not a pick.
Put your Steelers with an asterisk on there.
I'm gonna take the Steelers regardless, just because of how bad the Raiders are playing right now. The Raiders are.
I don't think even if Russell or Justin played, the Raiders.
Yeah, they're playing so bad. You know what's so messed up? Max Crosby came in and was talking trash to Bo Nix. He's like, "You gotta speak up, rookie. They can't hear what you say." But the Raiders did not score another point after. Oh boy.
Who are you going with, sir?
He don't know.
Raiders. I'm going to play devil's advocate today.
All
and,
right.
And I'm going to tell you next week I told you so. See?
Maybe he got high before we made the picks.
Either that or you went with Las Vegas. You know some will, though.
Man,
I'm gonna have one of those Damon Wayans Juniors next week. That's what you get. That's what I'm gonna tell you.
Falcons at Panthers.
I'm gonna go Falcons.
Bengals at the Giants.
I'm gonna go Bengals.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
they
Cincy.
can't get any more unlucky.
Well,
Bengals.
The interesting thing is the Giants are actually starting to look like an actual football team. Like it's kind of shocking. Like I give credit where it's due. I'm seeing growth there. Now, is it enough growth to keep Daniel Jones? I don't know on that, but
Big Apple's a fishbowl, and I don't know. I just don't see him as a Big Apple quarterback.
I would say I'm seeing enough growth to where I wouldn't keep Daniel Jones, but I would keep Brian Daboll. Like I like Brian Daboll as an offensive mind. Like I think he's somebody who, when he had the right quarterback, was on an upward trajectory. People were talking about him as a potential Sean McVay, like a Matt LaFleur, like a Bobby Slowick down in Houston. Like they were talking about him on this upward trajectory, and then he got what's the opposite of blessed?
Shafted.
I don't like that word. That don't even sound right. I wouldn't use that in a sentence. Like the only kind of sentence we y'all know what I'm thinking. What kind of sentence would you use the word shafted in? I'm just saying. No, but when he had the misfortune of acquiring Daniel Jones in this head coaching job, it just stopped. And I think he's maximized the limitations that Daniel Jones has, played to. Like, I think out of where his ceiling is, he's got him all the way there.
Here's the problem that people are not really facing the facts anymore. The NFL is quickly evolving into the league of black quarterbacks. Nobody wants to admit it. That's where we're going. Black quarterbacks. You got to have a super athletic, a cannon arm, and you're going to have to get your accuracy down. But all of these slow-footed white quarterbacks, they are becoming extinct. Just like Tom Brady had his little run and everything, but that's Peyton Manning.
Little run?
That's
Oh,
Peyton
little
Manning.
You
run.
won't be saying that till Archie Manning getting.
I'm glad somebody else was thinking it, because
I'm not going to equate that college success with pro success. I'm just not doing it. I'm just not doing it.
See,
I'll never do that.
The interesting thing, and typically I agree with you, but we're seeing it translate. We're watching it in real time over the last few years. We're watching it translate to where it's like, oh, this guy looks like he's gonna hit this. Like this year for the rookie quarterbacks might be an anomaly. Like this might mess around and be like the greatest QB class ever. Just simply how. The last time we had this many first-round quarterbacks come out was 2021. Look at where all those quarterbacks are now. One of them got a second contract in Trevor Lawrence. Everyone else is either a backup.
This current draft.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yes.
I agree with you.
So it would have been, if he didn't get hurt, I believe J.J. McCarthy would have been starting. You have Spencer Rattler making his debut. You have Bo Nix. You have Caleb Williams. You have Jaden Daniels. And out of the five that I just mentioned, 3 of them are balling. 1 of them is injured. Oh, my bad. Drake May is starting this weekend for the New England Patriots. So you still have 5 rookies starting. Now, time will tell where they all end up. You know what I mean? As far as their success in the professional, game. But you're watching it translate.
All I'm going to tell you is that the NFL is going through the same procession that the NBA went through. You just can't hold that athleticism and talent down anymore. The knock on a black quarterback for decades was that he's not smart enough.
I agree. I agree, and agree that that was always where they tried to give the white quarterback the knock over the black quarterback, and we've disproved that time and time again. But why I don't think the prototypical white quarterback gets phased all the way out, because you still have some of those old school, I want that prototypical quarterback, 6'4", 240, cannon arm, instinct, mechanics.
But even Josh Allen has wheels.
Yeah.
See,
and it helps that he's bigger than everybody that's trying to tackle him.
And he's got,
because he's bigger than the prototypical quarterback.
He is, but I look at it like this, though. Unless you get these athletic white quarterbacks, and this is what they tend to do, they don't last very long, because that's just not a winning formula for white people to get them kind of hits. I'm sorry, their bones are not as dense as ours are. Forgive me, but that's just the way nature works. So you get a white quarterback like J.J. McCarthy, if he's running like that all the time, a couple of hits, he's going to be a footnote in history. Trust me. There's no way he will last as long as a Michael Vick did. And Vick took a lot of smashing.
I just think that's like saying almost like the NBA won't need the fundamental white boys that's shooting threes. Like, you always need your fundamental white boy who's going to be in that corner, and you know the minute you pass him
Kyle
that ball,
Korver, the J.J. Redick,
going to splash that three. Like,
yeah.
The fundamentals, no matter how much we say are leaving the game, just are always going to have to be in the game.
Shooter's going to shoot. Yeah.
Shooter's going to shoot, and so I don't know. Like, you're always going to need that one quarterback that just kind of sits in the pocket and throws it. Like,
I agree with that.
I guess.
But and again, as long as you have coaches who design schemes that require that type of quarterback, that there will always be a necessity for that type of quarterback. That's the only reason you're seeing a Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles injury getting $110 million.
Bro, he threw for 509. What was it? 500 and.
Bro, he broke the franchise record.
Like, bro, is this a video game?
Yeah, well, he did put up Madden numbers, but he literally broke that franchise record on Matt Ryan Day. He got inducted into the Atlanta Falcons Ring of Honor or whatever, and literally broke his record, which he had 503.
Well, I'm gonna say this: it's not upon us, but it's approaching. Trust me, the pocket quarterback is like the dodo; it's going extinct. Simple as that, because the league is becoming too athletic now. They're already figuring out that.
I agree that it's becoming athletic, but like he said, it'll always be a place for somebody who could sit back and dissect the defense. Because for every coach that is like, yeah, I want to have an athletic quarterback, you're going to have a coach that doesn't want to get his quarterback tore up.
And for every coach that is thinking like the latter you said there, his game only lasts a season or two. And then the defense just figure it out, and now you can't dissect anybody anymore. Now you got to figure out how to get out of the pocket and maneuver around.
Let's break it down. Let's dissect this a little bit. The best offensive minds in football all have quarterbacks that sit back and dissect. Patrick Mahomes will sit back and dissect. Yes, he can get out and get mobile, and like that's where we saw a lot of the wild plays, but Andy Reid always tends to rein them back in.
He does.
Let's do the methodical, the boring.
Yeah, but the reason he has a pocket so clean most of the time because he's a threat, and you got to rush him with caution. You can't just blitz him, because you blitz him, if there's an opening, he's out of there.
But he's also, again, like he's one of those guys who you can't overrush him because of his eyes, not necessarily his athletic prowess.
That's true.
It's his arm.
But
that still comes back to being able to dissect the defense. But let's keep going. So you look at Sean McVay.
Bo Nix is a little bit mobile, though.
Huh?
He ain't no pocket passer exclusively.
You messed up. I said Sean McVay.
Okay, my bad.
Not Sean Payton. I wouldn't put Sean Payton up there with the greatest offensive minds.
Okay.
But when you look at Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford ain't beating nobody in no horse race. I mean, in no foot race.
Matthew Stafford will get out that pocket, though. He has enough athleticism left that if you give him a little avenue, he'll give you 5 or 10 yards for a first down.
Lower that shoulder, too. Lower that shoulder.
I give you that. He'll lower that shoulder. But All I'm saying is he's not the most athletic.
He's not, but he has those ridiculous arm angles.
That's where he beats you. Not necessarily. It's the quick game.
Yeah.
It's let's get the ball out. Like, okay, it's not like he can extend plays, but like not an Aaron Rodgers in his prime. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but see, Aaron Rodgers to me is a poor example because it's mobility also. I couldn't tell you how many times I watched Aaron Rodgers get in a pinch, slide in the pocket, and take off.
Yeah.
That's what the game is evolving to now.
Right.
And that's going to be basically where you see black athleticism rise to the top.
But again, what I'm saying, like, so let's keep going.
Keep going.
The best offensive minds, you start to get into some of the hybrid players, right? You start to get into the Bobby Slowicks down there with C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud is somebody because we've always had a form of a play action boot where you roll out and you know what I mean? Now, it's interesting when you get players that can go into that scrambling drill and still do the same thing. But it's a difference between what a C.J. Stroud can do and what a Justin Fields can do. Because just because you can run it as a quarterback doesn't mean you're going to be successful in the NFL.
But C.J. Stroud has basically better mechanics, and he's an accurate passer as well.
But I'm saying that will take you farther than the athleticism will.
Yes, it will.
That will take you farther. So that's why I'm saying
I agree. But
even though I agree the game is evolving, it'll always be a place for somebody who's accurate. It'll always be a place for somebody who's a Tua. He doesn't have the greatest arm. He's not the most mobile. Like, he will move, but he don't really need to get hit, so he really don't even need to be playing. But you always have somebody who can just sit back and dissect the defense, get the ball out quick, and make sure it's accurate. Put the ball where it needs to be. Don't put the ball in harm's way.
And see, I see that now as more black quarterbacks evolve into that person.
You know what's messed up? This whole show is going to be us trying to get through these picks.
Literally. I was thinking about what could the title be of this Week 5 picks and etc.
This is what happens when we go off script.
See, here's what I'm wondering though. Major League Baseball decided they couldn't deny athleticism anymore, but they put a little curve in it and went overseas to do it. They go down to Dominican Republic, they go down to Cuba, they go down to Venezuela, whatever, but they're still using black people. You can call them what you want to call them, those are black people. They couldn't deny the athleticism anymore. They no more that Babe Ruth with a big pot gut, and you can sit back and just pot shot people and maybe get some your anomalous like Mickey Mantle, who was a freakish athlete as well. But baseball still went the way of athleticism. NFL was going the same. I mean, come on, the NBA. Yes, Kyle Korver is a depth shooter. Kyle Korver is not like slow-footed either, though. He ain't just got mud in his shoes. When he's coming off of curls, grabbing the ball and letting it go.
But that's like my whole thing. Like, it's still, those are fundamentals of the game.
They are.
So you can't really take that away of the game, and so you're still going to have like your Bryce Harpers in baseball. Like, you know, like
I know what you're saying, but if you got somebody who was just so one-dimensional, then defenses. I mean, the offenses are going to exploit them defensively as well. Now you got to hide this guy.
So I don't want to make this a race topic.
Too late.
Because that's not what it is. I mean, this is what you've turned it into, but this is not what I'm going to make it. So for all the athletic people that you go out and find, as soon as they find somebody to prop up of lighter color, they become the great white hope.
I do get
the
that.
Caitlin Clarks, the Luka Doncic's. So best believe they are scouring them European markets.
Worldwide.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying. And again, I like it's greatness any and everywhere, because you go all the way back throughout history. It's been good white basketball players. It's been good white football players. It's been, you know what I mean?
I agree.
So that's why I don't want to make it a race thing. If you're great, you're great.
Well, I'm not going to make it a race thing.
Too late.
Particularly, what I'm going to say is, for every good white,
way too late.
For every good white athlete that I've seen in my lifetime, there's 4 or 5 mediocre ones who should have been replaced by black people because they were just.
Let's
out
get
there.
back to these picks.
Please do, because they were out there just basically as a warm body.
Bills at Jets, and they get into
Bills.
what's happening at the
Okay.
Jets.
That's the dumpster fire that's about to happen. They are accusing this guy of deep six and his coach. And he's like, I didn't do it. I ain't got that much power. They're like, yeah.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, and I'm gonna go Jets. I like the Jets in this spot because they fired the coach. The players are still the same.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm concerned, they still got to throw at Sauce Gardner. Now, granted, Sauce Gardner put his hands on you more than a domestic relationship, but he's still one of the top lockdown corners in the league. So I don't think that Bills offense has enough weapons on the exterior. Like on the outside, I don't think they got enough weapons. And the couple weapons that they do have, like if you're having Keon Coleman getting checked by Sauce Gardner for the whole game, good luck. Now it's a matter of, can that Jets team, what does that Bills defense look like against the Jets? Because it's rare you see Aaron Rodgers throw 3 interceptions unless he's just washed. Like it might just be that time.
There comes a time in your career when you think you got it and everybody can see you don't.
And then to want that flag on that last play when it was just like, nah, buddy, that's a bad throw. Yeah, you're washed.
Yeah.
You're washed.
It's like
That was terrible.
It was terrible.
You know the interesting thing, man? This is literally like watching Brett Favre all over again late in his career, because like Brett could make so many amazing throws early in his career that once his arm wasn't as strong, he was still trying to make those throws, and they just weren't there.
They weren't there.
It just weren't there.
Everybody knew about him that, bro, it's time.
And some of the throws, like the back shoulder throw that he tried to make to Allen Lazard in the end zone as he's falling down, and then he's mad at the receiver. It's like, well, bro, what did you expect him to do? This isn't Madden, where some glitch is just gonna happen where he's falling to the ground and then just twist his body around and catch the ball like this, fall into that kind of stuff don't happen. So the best outcome that you could have gotten from that was not throwing a 4th interception. But I know normally when you see Aaron Rodgers throw multiple interceptions, he checks out of the game. So this time it just so happened. He can say he didn't have anything to do with it, but he had to have gone in that locker room like, I just threw 3 interceptions. Something got to change, damn it. Somebody got to go.
And it ain't gonna be me. It ain't gonna be.
I looked at that guy through his career.
The whole thing is that, like, I could imagine the coach probably going up to the office and being like, hey, man, we probably need to fire the offensive coordinator. Like, oh, no, the boss told me we can't do that, but I'm going to need you to turn in your key card.
I look at
me?
Brett Favre is
I'm getting fired? I didn't throw 1 interception Sunday. Why am I getting fired? I digress.
That's the perfect analogy. Looking at Brett Favre, though, I see Aaron Rodgers. I say he has done it at that level for so long, and his mind, he thinks he can keep doing that forever. And it's like, bro.
I mean, he can for this season.
I just don't. I think
he has so much power over the Jets, man. He's gonna have to become some kind of coordinator or something after he's done, because he has too much power right now.
Well, he is a very intelligent player, but I still think that he's lost a step or two. He won't admit that. And I think that when I saw him getting sacked a couple times, I was like, the old Aaron Rodgers would have just stepped forward and just took off on that and avoided that or spun out of that. I'm like, he's lost a step or two.
I mean, it's easy to see why he lost a step. He's 40 and coming off a torn Achilles. So, I mean, let's just call a spade a spade.
But everybody can see that but him. And I'm like, bro, there comes a time in everybody's career, and I'll tell you about myself when I started missing layups.
We don't want to hear about you.
I started missing layups. And I couldn't figure out why I was missing so many layups. You know why? My lift was gone. I used to put the ball up the rim and just off my finger and into the rim. Now I'm putting the ball at the rim, but my finger is about an inch below the rim. I don't recognize that. Same perspective, and I'm flipping the ball up and it's hitting the back of the rim.
It's not going to your normal spot.
And I wasn't thinking about that. I'm losing my athleticism because I can still jump up and touch the rim easily. But during the course of the game, I'm not jumping with a conscious. I'm just jumping. It ain't that high no more. And everybody's like, man, you keep missing these layups. I said, you know what? Got to use the backboard now. Had to start facing reality. Got to use the backboard. No more of that flip over the rim stuff because I'm not there anymore. And I think Aaron Rodgers has to come to that moment also. But you know what? I got to start playing within the means of my abilities and not based on 10 years ago because he ain't there yet.
Yeah, not everybody can be LeBron.
This is true.
Not everybody can even be Tom. I mean, because Tom Brady, you know, he's the poster child for longevity, but I'm sure they've had two different workout regimens.
Oh man, Tom Brady
for their career
and LeBron James, comparing them to physically, it's just like salt and pepper. It's just not the same thing.
Yeah,
he managed a system where he didn't require his athleticism for years.
All right, man.
And LeBron was just jumping out of the gym for like 15 years, and now he's jumping close to the rafters, but not out of the gym anymore.
I was gonna say he still get up there. Don't do my boy. Don't do Brian. But before we get out of here, we gonna talk about my Bears some more. Cause you ain't said nothing. If we had lost that game, you would have been coming in here high and mighty, poking your chest out, beating on it.
Game, I'll be asking you, is it time for the panic button to be pushed yet?
Oh, I had already told you if we lost that game, you know, it would be smash panic button mode. Well, I told you this 2 weeks ago when it was against the Rams.
Yes, you did.
So I said it needed, like, this is the stretch games we need to win here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, the Jaguars have a better team, so this would be an actual matchup. Plus, we're playing in London bright and early, 9:30 in the morning.
Crazy.
Bright and early, I'll be up. Yeah, you'll be getting text messages from me bright and early. Bright and early. Before you brush your gums, I'm going to be hitting your phone.
Wow.
But,
way too early, week 7, week 6, my bad, week 5, whatever week it is. Just be a quarter into the football season. Way too early for Super Bowl picks.
my picks haven't changed.
I'm still going to Lions, too. We getting there this year, bro.
Wait a minute. That wasn't even your pick when you made the pick.
I'm going now, bro.
That wasn't even your pick when you made the pick. You were
said the
taking
Niners.
Seattle.
We had
No, you
Bills,
didn't. Roll
we
the
had-
tape back.
We had
Mike,
Bills
you got
and
me on this.
Seahawks.
Roll the tape back.
Bills,
And
Seahawks. Okay.
We had MT at Bills and Seahawks, Jack at KC and Bears, and Cy at Bills and Lions.
Wow.
You don't even remember your own takes,
don't.
man. This is crazy.
But I know.
Hey, man.
I know for a fact I didn't pick the Bears, though. That's
Yeah, we know you didn't pick. I
for
wouldn't
darn sure.
expect you to pick the Bears,
I
but
wouldn't expect you to either, but
you
did.
didn't. It's way too early, remember?
Yeah, it's
but
way
yeah,
too
no. I'm surprised you remember who I picked and didn't remember who you picked. But anyway.
I would be more inclined to pick the Niners over the Seahawks, but I'm still going.
Why?
Why not? Because I'm going with the Lions right now, though. Because the Seahawks haven't shown me anything. They really haven't.
Man, a lot could change in 2 weeks.
A lot has changed in 2 weeks, but I'm just saying.
Because 2 weeks, it was, man, look at what Geno was doing. He the best quarterback in the league.
Well, I'm looking at Debo and the crew coming back eventually, and that ship being righted again.
Debo just played. Kittle just played. The only person out is Christian McCaffrey.
That's a big person to be.
Brandon Ayuk
and
has played.
They're coming back from injuries, and they're not really going full tilt like you would expect them. So they weren't back in my mind yet.
Now, this is crazy from somebody who has that next man up mentality. Like, he don't let nobody get away with excuses of injuries, and now all of a sudden, oh, man, well,
I'm looking at
this one.
Super Bowl
You know,
projections.
the crazy thing I'm going to say this before we get out of here. You spent the last 30 minutes talking about how black athletes were more superior to white athletes, yet the white athlete on that team is the thing that makes that team go. That team can't go nowhere without the white running back. That is crazy.
What I'm also saying here is that they still got to gel all over again. And as far as the Super Bowl run, I see more into
It's
them.
over. It's a wrap.
I see more into them than I do Seattle right
A
now.
hot take.
But
A
I'm
hot
still
take.
going with the Lions.
A hot take is that the 49ers coach should be on the hot seat. Like, let's just be honest. But whatever. Anyway, we finna get out of here, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment. I don't know what this episode was, but hey, this was fun. I ain't gonna lie. This was cool. Like I said, we got a lot of new things happening here in the future. We changing locations. We gonna switch the show up a little bit, rebrand a little bit. So yeah, it's if you've been rocking with us for this long, stay locked in. Things about to get real, man. But anyway, we frankly speaking, I'm Jack.
MT.
Appreciate the producers for making this happen and all y'all for, coming in, watching, talking, giving us y'all 2 cents. But anyway, we out of here, man. Bear down.